Why does Coco always use forbidden magic first when she's in danger? If you look closely, you'll realize that Coco has already had the idea of using forbidden magic for a long time. In episode 3, Agathe forced her to take the exam, even though Coco was completely unprepared. At this stage, Coco didn't know much about magic at all. Even her flying boots were borrowed. While learning to fly, she accidentally fell into the water and damaged the magic circle on the bottom of the boots. And at that moment, the first thing Coco thought of was forbidden magic. She even took off her boots, preparing to draw the magic circle on the soles of her own feet. Keep in mind that there aren't many limits to what can hold magic. It could have been her cloak, or she could have drawn it directly on the ship. But the first thing Coco thought of was her own feet. This is the greatest taboo for mages. Magic must not be used on the human body. From this, we can see that Coco does not reject forbidden magic at all. She may even be somewhat eager to explore it. All of this traces back to the wide-brimmed witches. When Coco was very young, she witnessed the forbidden magic of the wide-brimmed witches. It was a glowing spell that could be cast without a magic circle. This gave the young Coco a preconceived idea. Magic used on the body is not dangerous. This unique belief became the fundamental reason why Coco breaks the chains of taboo. That's why, when she's in danger, Coco instinctively uses forbidden magic first. Why does Agathe hate Coco so much? If you think that, it means you don't really understand her. Agathe wasn't born with a bad temper, nor was she deliberately targeting Coco. It has a lot to do with her experiences. The most direct reason is that Agathe has worked extremely hard for a very long time. You can tell from the wear on her hands. Agathe comes from a low-ranking mage family. She practiced magic desperately from childhood and put in far more effort than anyone else just to get a chance to become a mage. Yet Coco, an ordinary person with no foundation at all, was taken in as Kefri's apprentice directly and stood on the same starting line as her. This was hard for her to accept. What's more, Agathe admires and respects Kefri deeply. After Coco arrived, for reasons we all know, Kefri paid an extraordinary amount of attention to her. This also upset Agathe greatly. Agathe is naturally proud and serious. She can't stand Coco's unprofessional behavior. That's why in episode 4, when Coco chased the wide-brimmed witch and caused everyone to fall into a trap, and when Agathe was focused on drawing a magic circle, Coco carelessly interrupted her. In Agathe's eyes, Coco's careless attitude was disrespectful to magic, so she grew to dislike her more and more. From all this, we can see that Agathe wasn't excluding Coco. She had known since childhood that it was against the rules for ordinary people to learn magic. Coco's existence made all her hard work seem less valuable, so she doesn't hate Coco. She's just anxious because all her efforts feel like they've been dismissed. Why do all the mages care so much about Coco's identity? If you look closely, you will notice one detail that runs through the entire story, whether it's her fellow apprentices at the workshop, Kefri's old acquaintances, or the veteran mages in magic shops. The moment they learn this girl is Coco, instantly show looks of shock, wariness, and mixed emotions. The simple line, "So you're that Coco," proves her identity is far from ordinary. Beneath this lies major loopholes and deep secrets within the entire magical world's rules. In this strictly class-divided magical realm, an uncrossable line separates mages and ordinary people. Magic is a monopolized craft. Only mage clans are granted the right to learn spell sigils and use magic ink. Commoners can never come into contact with legitimate magic in their entire lives. Coco is one of the very few outliers in history, a pure ordinary human taken in as an apprentice by an official witch hat mage through special exception. Kefri's choice to shelter a commoner apprentice has already spread quietly within small magical circles. On top of that, Coco carries a dark past of using forbidden magic on her own. In the eyes of other mages, this is a clear violation of the rules. As someone who has survived while walking the fine line of forbidden arts, people care about her not out of simple curiosity. They understand that her very existence is a direct challenge to the established magical order. Why does Agathe's fire magic seem stronger than Kefri's? Is anyone else like me who was completely stunned watching Agathe repel the dragon with fire magic in episode 4? In contrast, when Kefri camped outdoors in episode 1, he drew his magic circle on much larger paper, yet it only produced a tiny flame for warmth. The contrast is absolutely huge. Many people say Kefri was deliberately hiding his strength, but it's not that simple at all. The power of witch hat magic never depends on the size of the magic circle. It depends on the symbols and complexity of its patterns. The fire magic Kefri used in episode 1 was drawn on large paper, but its patterns were extremely simple. It only had basic fire symbols without any enhancement or amplification lines. Its only purpose was warmth, so the magical effect was weak, just a small flame. But when Agathe faced the dragon in episode 4, her magic circle was on small paper, yet covered with highly complex symbols. They were all intricate lines that boost firepower and expand its range. This is the real key to powerful magic. Just like when Coco drew magic for the first time, she copied the complex magic circle from the wide-brimmed witch's picture book, almost causing a magic rampage and shocking Kefri. It's clear that magic power isn't simply judged by the size of the magic circle. The complexity of the circle and the functionality of its symbols determine magic power far more than its size. Agathe's strength is no accident, nor is Kefri weak. The power of magic depends entirely on the mage's intention. Do you think Nolnolua could be a spy for the wide-brimmed witches? He seems way too suspicious. When Kifri brought Coco to buy her first magic brush, Nolnolua's reaction was extremely dramatic. He could barely wait to get a good look at Coco. Keep in mind that Kifri had only just taken Coco as his apprentice, and very few people knew about her identity at that, yet he seemed to know a great deal about Coco, possibly even more than Kifri did. Nolnolua's attitude during his first meeting with Coco made him seem nothing like an ordinary magic stationery shop owner. Besides, when he picked out ink for Coco, he deliberately chose one particular bottle and reminded her repeatedly, "This one suits you best, use it well." Coco was just a complete beginner learning magic. Any ordinary bottle of ink would have been enough for her, but Nolnolua specially picked a bottle of magic ink for Coco. Could there be some special arrangement behind this? What's more, he kept glancing at Coco out of the corner of his eye the whole time. That look was nothing like how you look at a regular customer. It was more like watching someone you need to keep a close eye on. The more you think about it, the creepier it gets. And the most obvious point of all, not long after Coco arrived at the stationery shop, the wide-brimmed witches showed up. It was far too coincidental, as if someone had deliberately tipped him off. All these points make Nolnolua look extremely suspicious, so much that he might even be a spy planted here by the wide-brimmed witches. What do you think?